We on, man. We on. Khan A. Shalom. First of all, to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kwakadash. Yahweh, who the world only calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world only calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles, the great millstone who has taught me this truth. I want to give the peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth from which life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Loading the videos edifying, the I can get some from this video. Quick video through the spirit. Quick video through the spirit, man. We was kind of talking at camp. We talked about a couple different things, but one of the things that bros mentioned was, that the heathen needs to be ruled over. And indeed, the heathen will be ruled over shortly. You know what I mean? You look at the time that this place has, and, you understand that, America's time is short. This rulership time is short. And it's evident. You know what I'm saying? I think, if I'm not mistaken, the average rulership lasts about 250 years. And I think next year, if I'm not mistaken, America will be on its 250th year. Bros could correct me if I'm wrong, but it's somewhere around there. But all in all, you understand that, the ending of this rulership is around the corner. And that's why, these motherfuckers is doing this, they're operating at desperate measures. Like, when you hear things about the surge, the uprising, which I think that's what that word goes into. Matter of fact, let's chat GBT this shit, man. Surge definition. The surge. What does it mean? Well, damn. The word surge can be used as both a noun and a verb. As a verb, to move suddenly and powerfully forward and upward. Okay, it says as a noun, a sudden, strong, or powerful forward or upward movement. Example, a surge of electricity knocked out the lights. It can also mean a rapid increase in something. Example, there was a surge in online sales during a holiday season. And what? These motherfuckers finna, basically like what they get ready to come in like a flood. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord said what would happen when the enemy shall come in like a flood. And obviously it's going to be on a bigger level than what it is now. Right? You know what I'm saying? The worse things get, the more you're going to see the horns come out this devil head, man. That's just what it is. Okay? Let me grab this. I think it's at 59. Judgment. Give me 1 second. Right here. This is Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, in his glory from the rising of the sun. When an enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Okay? Now let's get to that word standard. Right? Because this is what bros have to look forward to. This is what Akim have to look forward to. Okay? You're going to hear things about these tactical things that they plan on doing, this warfare that they plan on doing, the technology that they have, that they plan on using, and them going into the cities, without you knowing, and all this shit, right? Things being monitored, these videos being monitored, all this shit being monitored, right? But at the end of the day, we got to realize and understand who's in control. The Lord directs the steps of men. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is in control, period. And as long as we fear that the Lord be for us, then who could be against us? See, that's why, when you do these videos and you go out to the highways and byways, and you get, you fellowship and you being around Akim, you're displaying your faith. Okay? You ain't doing none of that. You ain't going out to the highways and byways. You ain't fellowshipping. You're not putting off the old man. You're not displaying your faith, man. You know what I'm saying? And now is not the time to get weak. Now is not the time to be weak, man. Okay? You see what the fuck going on, man. Okay? We're gonna need the Lord, man, in these times to come. Okay, because this monster that we have, against us, oh, you're gonna see how monstrous it get. Oh, you're gonna see how vicious and how savage it gets, man. Okay? So we need the Lord, man. But let's get this word for standard. And it's noose. Let's see.
Strong's H 5127. Noose. Noose.
I don't know if bros can hear that, but it says to flee, escape, to flee, to escape, to take flight, depart, disappear, to fly, to the attack on horseback, to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause to disappear, hide. Okay? So the Lord is going to, however the Lord has it play out, you got to understand, you can't put your you can't put your limitations on the Lord. But remember this, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, it is impossible to please the Lord without faith. It is impossible to please the Lord without faith, man. Okay? So these things that come, our faith got to be on high, for real. And one of the things to remember is when these things come, and again, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, is that we knew it was coming, which means that prophecy is real. And if Jacob's trouble coming, well, what comes after that? Salvation. Okay? Remember that. Okay? This is let's get back to KJV. Matter of fact, let's go into the GNT. I just wanted to grab that real quick, but I wanted to grab this because I was reading it earlier. It's Psalms 108, and bros was actually, this is one of many topics we talked about. You know what I'm saying? And it was a beautiful thing, and I always remember this, that the Lord has a favorite people. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has a even within his favorite, it's the elect. Because Israel is the elect people, but it's the elect within the elect, right? Not all Israel is going to make it on this go-around, right? The elect in the 1/3 is going to make it on this go-around, okay? Lord willing, I'm a part of that number that make it, okay? Me and my household. Lord willing, you sincere Akim was a part of that number that make it, okay? This Psalms 108, and Salaki, I don't know why that shit just did that. Nah, shit, Salaki, I don't know why this did that. This phone, man, but this is Psalms 108 and 7. It says, "From his sanctuary, the Most High has said, in triumph, I will divide Shechem and distribute Succoth Valley to my people." And if I'm not mistaken, Shechem is a city which Manasseh dwelt, if I'm not mistaken. Because matter of fact, let's go back. Okay. Let's go back. Psalms 108. Right quick. Let's get that word. Shechem real quick. Let's make sure I'm right, man. Shechem. Okay, it says means back or shoulder. It says a city in Manasseh, located in the valley between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. Okay, so it's where Manasseh dwelt. Okay, let's grab this. It says and distribute Succoth Valley to my people. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh too. Ephraim is my helmet, and Judah my royal scepter. But I will use Moab as my wash bowl. Okay, and I will throw my sandals on Edom as a sign that I own it. I will shout in triumph over the Philistines. So look, what does it say about the tribes of Israel? Glorious things. What does it say about the heathen nation? Right? Wash bowl, sandals on Edom. Right? This is in the GNT, by the way. Okay? So it doesn't, you got to understand, there's a lot of Christians, they skip past this, right? They don't, oh, it's in the Old Testament, this and that, woo, woo. But you understand that you can't understand the New Testament without the Old Testament. You can't understand the New Testament without the Apocrypha. You won't understand it, because you would think that the Gentiles is actually talking about other nations, and that's not true. Okay, let's get back in here, and then I'll end the video. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 56. It says, I'll get to the point. It says, as for the other, well, I'll start at 54. It says, 2 Ezra 6 and 54. After these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Who did the Lord choose? The Israelites. Okay. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Okay, which the world was made for our sakes. The world, like the brother mentioned, the world is a business. It has to be managed. And what other people could manage it but the righteous, but gods on earth? You see, it's in the rule of the nations now. You see how fucked up the earth is, right? You see how fucked up it is. Okay? It says, as for the other people, which also come of Adam. As a matter of fact, I went to Sprouts the other day to get some like vitamins and shit like that, shit for, some shit that's good for you. And they have, that's a whole different section. That's a whole nother section in that store. I don't know if bros have Sprouts where they at, but when you have, it's just, a grocery store or whatever, but you could get certain things in there that's pretty good that you should have in your cabinet at the crib, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to the dude. He was like, yeah, man, the nutrients comes from the earth. It's it's the actual, the dirt and the things that in the earth that give you the nutrients. You know what I'm saying? It's not the actual, fruit. It's the nutrients that goes into the fruit that give you, you know what I'm saying, the nutrients. But he said it's fucked up because, basically they fuck up the ground and they don't rest the earth, you know what I'm saying, to where like all the nutrients is like getting pulled up out of it, because you're under a greedy man who wants dollar, 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 right? Who's all about money, money, dollar, having it his way, right? But guess what? He's in rule. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So you see how it is when the wicked rule, right? You people are going to see how it is when the righteous rule. We have a law where it's a land Sabbath. Okay? It's a land Sabbath for a reason. You got to let the earth rest. Okay? It says, and as the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle. Isn't it evident? They don't have no class. They don't have no high moral standard. Look how they live. Okay? It says, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Right? So you got to think, man, these motherfuckers, I don't care about these people that are likened unto spittle. The Lord cares about the Israelites. That's why the law was given into the Israelites, which made the Israelites holy and separate from the other nations. See, these other nations worship things that are created. We worship the Creator. It's a difference. It's a difference. Okay? They worship, look at Elamite. Look at what Elamite gods. It's a fucking elephant with octopus arms and all kind of crazy ass shit. Like, it's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to come a time where all you nations are going to have to flow onto the true government, which is the elect. You know what I'm saying? Which are Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Which obviously is the order, Yahweh, because it's Yahweh Shah's kingdom, right? It's the order. But you nations will follow us. You will follow our rule, period. Okay? And you need to. And you're going to be happy doing it. And any one of you that don't, there's consequences for it. Okay? So with that, man, Lord, videos edifying, lonely, I can got something for this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.